Thank you, Chair Murkowski and Ranking Member Cantwell, for holding this hearing today. I see the so-called stream protection rule as yet another front to this administration's war on affordable energy and good-paying jobs. This administration is shutting down coal-fired power plants here in the U.S. They're killing good-paying jobs for union workers and tribal members in my home state of Montana, while stifling investments that could lead to innovation to make coal cleaner here in the U.S. And let's just set the stage here for a moment. When you ask sometimes a kid in the city, where does milk come from? They'll say the store. You ask a kid from Montana, where does milk come from? They'll tell you a cow. Similarly, when a kid's plugging in their phone to charge it, if you ask them, where's electricity come from? They might say that plug, but the reality is it probably comes from coal. In fact, in the United States, about 40% of our electricity comes from coal. In my home state of Montana, it's over 50%. In fact, we've got a Tesla charge station there in my hometown of Bozeman. I'm a big fan of innovation and technology. I'm a chemical engineer, so I'm trained. I love technology, and what Elon Musk has done is amazing with Tesla. But when you plug that Tesla into a charging station in Montana, probably in the back of that Tesla, it ought to say, this Tesla powered by coal, because that's where the electricity is coming from. As we think about the global situation, the United States consumes about 10% of the coal in the world. This needs to be looked at from a global perspective. Said another way, 90% of the coal in the world is consumed outside the U.S. Japan is building 43 coal-fired plants. I used to have an office in Tokyo. After the big quake, they had to replace their nuclear energy there in Fukushima. They're replacing it with coal-fired plants. China is building a new coal-fired plant, one every 10 days, likely for the next 10 years or more. So I think the right answer is to continue to work with the coal industry to encourage innovation, because that will help take U.S. innovation technology around the world to help ensure that we protect our streams and protect our air and protect certainly the overall environment in the world. Earlier this month, a customer of Crow Tribe Coal, the Crow Tribe are in Montana, the Sherco coal plant in Minnesota, this month announced it would need to shut down 2 units, which would cut off a significant portion of the customer base for the Crow coal. I'm on the Indian Affairs Committee with Al Franken. We talk about what's going on in Indian country. If they lose these jobs, their unemployment rate is going to go from about 45% to north of 80%, because they mine coal on the Crow Reservation. The tribe relies on these coal-fired Midwest utilities for most of its non-federal revenue and for good-paying jobs at what they call the Absalica mine. Ironically, some of the first impacted by the president's Clean Power Plan are those who can least afford it, where poverty is rampant in places like the Crow Tribe, in places like West Virginia. Moreover, the administration is doing little to facilitate domestic supplies on the global market as we struggle with approval for coal export terminals in the U.S. Because some of the coal that comes out of Montana is much cleaner coal than coal that's in Indonesia. Again, looking at this globally from an environmental stewardship view, we should incentivize and encourage U.S. coal and U.S. coal-fired plants. Now the administration is trying to stop low-cost energy and good-paying jobs at the mine itself with the stream protection rule. And still the administration wants coal producers to pay more royalties through changes to valuation and potential increases in coal royalty rates. But here's a question. Where are we going to replace these tax revenues when there's no more coal industry in the U.S.? The administration's efforts with the stream protection rule seem to be a solution in search of a problem, especially in mines in the West. I would encourage the other members of this committee, come out to Montana and look at the way we mine coal. I've been out there in our treasured landscapes. I'm an avid elk hunter, mule deer hunter, antelope hunter, fly fisherman. We need to protect our landscapes and our streams. Our outdoor lifestyle is critical to our way of life, because our outdoor industry is a $6 billion industry in consumer spending per year for our state's economy. So it's important that coal producers are good stewards of the land. We've won a lot of awards on reclamation at the sites in Montana. I would encourage, again, members to come out and see it for themselves, what it's like after the mining is completed. Look what's going on with sage-grouse habitat where we are mining coal. More wildlife enjoys the lands now than when they were there before the mines existed. That's the facts. Again, you're entitled to your own opinion, but we've got to come back and look at what the facts are. Mr. Quinn, my question, I'm running out of time. I can't help but wonder, what is the purpose of this new rule, and should we be worried about unintended consequences, impacts on the responsible mining going on in the Powder River Basin, especially compounded with other assaults on this industry and its affordable electricity and job it supports from other angles in the administration?
Absolutely, Senator, but for all states, actually, even eastern states that were originally supposedly the focus of this rule. Here's what this is an exercise in. This is an exercise in going back to a failed experiment of using design standards to apply nationwide. That was abandoned and we went to performance standards, which was what was contemplated in the act to begin with, allow the states to flesh it out, to apply them to their particular needs, and also work with their companion agencies dealing with clean water and blend it all in together. So here we have a nationwide, one-size-fits-all, go back to the future, to these old design standards. It's going to be problematic across the board, not just in the Powder River Basin.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn.